Oh look, it's KV1. Hey there, buddy. Are you alone out here? You know it's dangerous to be alone. Oh yeah. How do you like that? Okay. That's fine. Oh, this is rough. Oh, okay. You know, turning your hole would help, but you know, it is what it is. I guess this is gonna be another tough battle. Hey guys, Timster here with another video, and today we're looking at the Luchs. I'm not gonna try and pronounce. I hope that's the right pronunciation. I gave up on pronouncing tanks 20 years ago, but yes, that's what we're doing. As you can see from the title, we are going to be farming ace tankers in the Luchs. Weird title, right? But it's what's gonna happen. You know, just sometimes weird stuff happens. And it's not actually that weird, it's due to how amazing this tank is. This little 13-ton beast. I mean, this thing just flies. It's got everything I love to a tank. It's probably my favorite tier 4. And maybe my favorite tank in the whole game, because it's a quick, fast autoloader. It's amazing. Like, who doesn't like the Luchs? Like, first of all, it's cute. Check, right? It's fast. Check. And it does an insane amount of damage. Check. So I don't know who doesn't like it. We're going to be starting on the new map here, actually. We're going to get a couple shots on the Matilda here. And you're going to notice that AP was penetrating it, but I prefer to use APCR for Matildas just because they're a little rough. Here I don't really, I'm not really worried, too worried here. But this thing, oh Jesus, it's amazing. We got an M3 Lear here. We're just sticking out our turret, and we're gonna get amazing amount of shots there. This thing has 10 shots in its magazine with an alpha damage of 25 for each shot. So that's 250 alpha damage per magazine. That's amazing. And then we have this Panzer IV Anko, who's just is so annoying this match. Like, this guy, I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, we're gonna stick out here. The BP has fired. We get some nice shells into that weak turret and finish him off no problem. And we're gonna move on to this Matilda. Are we gonna get a couple shots? I don't think those actually went in. Yeah, we didn't really penetrate anything there. He's out. He's gone. But we want to keep doing that damage. We're gonna move on to the Su-85 here, using that rate of fire. Oh lord, this thing, it takes 10 seconds to reload the magazine, but then you just get to unleash 250 alpha damage, and it's just beautiful. Panzer IV Anko not letting me back up again. Thankfully, the SU can't shoot me, because otherwise I would have been in trouble. And here we're just gonna, you know, finish off the SU, and we shall be good. So there's a Wolverine there, and he's gonna get finished off by the Panzer IV Anko, and we're now gonna move on to the AT2. Now this thing, you're gonna see the penetration values are they're not even too bad. It's just the AT2 has amazing armor. So we're actually gonna switch to some APCR to make our life a little easier. As you can see, that's a lot of red. So we're actually gonna use some APCR here to make things a little easier. This thing has 95 millimeters of penetration for AP and 110 for APCR. So it's definitely worth using APCR and sometimes, especially when you get onto those tier 5s and Matildas and stuff like that. APCR is gonna be required. Just keep in mind that you will lose so much money if you're using APCR in this tank. But yeah, there's our first ace tanker, 1,000 damage flat, 5,000 credits, with 3 tanks destroyed, and there's our 100% crew mastery in the Luchs. So that was an amazing battle in the Luchs, but let's continue going, because you know what? We're all about farming those ace tankers. So we're going to be starting off on Hemelsdorf here. This is going to be our second match in the Luchs. Good stuff. This match is a little weird. I like it a lot. And yeah, I like these big maps are much better for the Luchs because it's got a lot more chances of flanking the enemy. And here I'm saying left all. And that's where hopefully our team is going to be heading. Someone asked me, what is the Luchs like? And I respond by saying, amazing, I'll show you. Yeah, I get a little cocky here. I'm not gonna lie, I get a little cocky. This is probably one of the tanks I do best in. I have pretty insane win rate in this right now. I just know how to use this tank. It's my kind of play style. It's fast. I'm a strategist, by the way. I don't actually, I'm not very good at 1v1s. Like, I'm not very good at, you know, those reflexes and, you know, getting accurate shots really fast. I'm not that kind of tanker. I'm more of a strategist. I need to know where I need to be at what time and how to help my team. So the Luchs is really my kind of tank. This Panzer II is amazing at just basically getting away from my team. Fortunately, though, he just got tracked right there, and we are able to do some damage. Unfortunately, the Panzer II also has an autoloader, so he finishes him off. Unfortunately, right? We want all the kills, but no, our team does get some. And here we're going to be quite aggressive. By quite aggressive, I mean extremely aggressive. This is where I probably should have died. But we're going to get some shots on the Hetzer and decide we should get out of there, because there are 3 tanks over there and 2 tanks up in front. So not the best place to be. Thankfully, our team has actually gone left. So they are flanking these two tier 4s here, and that's gonna allow us to stay alive. I don't know what gun the Panzer III is using, but it doesn't have a lot of alpha damage, and we're gonna actually be able to stay alive on 26 HP. And say goodbye to the Panzer III there. The Panzer III is gone. GG. And look behind us. Look behind us. Yes! We just missed a shot from the Hetzer. Oh, I feel so bad for that guy. He wanted us so bad. He wanted his sweet revenge, and we are just too fast for him. So a very risky game I'm playing here. We'll drive into a wall. This tank is quite hard to drive, not gonna lie. It's just too fast for me. But hello Hetzer, how are you doing? Team goes by, and we can finish him off. So yeah, we do in the end get to finish that Hetzer off. I don't know why I was so intent on finishing it off. Probably because it has such a hard pronunciation. Anyway, we're going to be heading to the left. I wanted to go for the DW, but I know this Panzer II was here, and I didn't want to get flanked by the Panzer II, so I'm going here. And I am trying to get a couple last shots. Yes. Notice that you have to stay still. Like, you have to stay still to do effective fire with this gun. It just... Otherwise, it's very hard to actually do damage. You have to stay still. That's one of the weak parts about autoloaders. You have to be still. And one great way to counter it is, you'll see in the last match, is basically by moving. Because it's much easier for autoloaders to penetrate tanks that are still than the tanks that are moving. Anyway, there's an actual, like, good ace tanker. We got 1,476 damage, 3 tanks destroyed. There, you know, that's more like it. You know, we're doing more damage there, so that very, very nice. Another great ace tanker. And now we're moving on to Copperfield, a map that is very small. So I thought I was gonna do, like, I was not very intent on entering this battle, especially since it is a tier 5 battle. And it's on a very small map, which again, this tank doesn't really favor, because you tend to be holed up and cornered on this map, and then you can't really flank anything. So I know that's what flanking on this map is extremely hard, just because the map is so small. There's nowhere to really flank. It's just one front. But yeah, we're gonna try and flank anyway. We're gonna head. One of the techniques I love to use in the Luchs is I am pretty aggressive right from the get-go, but I'm not too aggressive. I will stop, and I will basically spot the tanks. Then notice I will actually move to cover. I will unload part or most of my magazine onto the targets I've spotted. And I like this juicy Matilda here. And then I will basically retreat and move to a better position. Now notice that this thing actually has decent armor. I bounced a couple shots from the Matilda, and that's because its turret actually has 50mm on the front, 30mm on the sides. So it actually can bounce shots. Amazing stuff, right? And its hull is also not, it's not like crap armor. It has decent armor. It's got 30mm in the front, with a couple weak spots, but a couple strong spots too. So it can actually bounce shots. Here we're moving on to this T49, and let's see, this guy is probably going to have no problem penetrating us, but he doesn't actually fire, so that's one of the issues with you know, trying to do damage to other tanks, guys. You really want to fire your gun. But we do finish him off just by moving around and kind of, you know, he had a hard time trying to find our tank there. We're so small and sneaky, you know. Anyway, we're going to continue up here. We're going to try and get some juicy shots on the Matilda. Here he is. And notice I have APCR this game. Yes, I'm using APCR. You will see the result of that in the end screen. But APCR is a lot easier to penetrate Matildas with, and I want the damage. I don't really care about the credits at this point. I want to do some juicy damage, and I'm firing APCR. So as you can see there, it was very hard for me to actually aim my shot just because of how it was moving back and forth. Autoloaders like still targets that are not moving, and unfortunately he was moving. Anyway, we're going to move on to these last two tanks here. This is where I start to play a little badly here. I just move right along, and the gun depression on this tank is not great, but I do get it in, and unfortunately I'm not fast. I get stuck on those freaking pipes, and the T-34 does finish me off, unfortunately. This is a tier 5. He can penetrate me, no problem. And yeah, unfortunately, we have five tanks remaining, so yeah, we're good, right? We're good, guys. Yeah, we're good. The T-34 gets another kill, of course, but you know, now we're good. Now we're good. GG. So yeah, we actually do pull up on that one. That was another victory for us, and even though we died, which was quite unfortunate, we did get to do a lot of damage, and there's another ace tanker. 1,574 damage. Just look at the credits though. 47k credits, and that's negative credits, guys. We lost 47k credits, and that's what happens when you use APCR, guys. So don't use APCR. it will cost you dearly. You will regret using it. I actually realized how expensive APCR was, and I started to go a little easier on the APCR afterwards. But anyway, last match for the day here is going to be on Middleburg. This is just a beautiful, beautiful map. Like, look at it. Look at the sunsets. Look at the buildings, the cars. It looks like an actual town now. Not just some random 2D buildings, you know. The graphics are just so much better now. Like, everything looks just so much cleaner. It looks like an actual, like, place, you know. The graphics are just amazing, and good job to Wargaming, because they are really upping their game in the graphics, and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to do the thing I always do. I'm going to spot the tanks, and then move to a covered position, and then unleash my magazine. This Luchs here is trying to do the same thing, but he was on a hill, so it was kind of hard to retreat fast off of that hill. I do get a couple shots onto him, and at this point I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna use my strategic insight here, go for this M3 Lee. He is a tank destroyer, so he can't shoot me, but I can shoot him, so that's not good for him, right? Yeah, we're gonna get some shots on him. Unfortunately, his team can't really support him, so sucks for him. He's gonna go down right here. And notice that this tank, on these bigger maps, it's all about the strategy. I'm not too focused. I'm not great at the aim and everything, but I am good at being where I need to be when I need to be. Now notice this Luchs gets around us, and we basically just we're out. We get out of there, and it has a hard time shooting us because autoloaders like still targets. I'm gonna repeat that again, and it was very hard for the Luchs to actually get some shots onto us because we were moving. Notice the AT, the A20 we're shooting right here. He also is still when he's unloading his magazine, because autoloaders like to be still, and they like still targets when they unload. Notice I'm not gonna get too many shots here while I'm chasing this Luchs, who is just completely, like, he's gone. Because this thing has a 0.4 dispersion, not very accurate, and 1.4 second aiming time. So you want to be up close to your targets, and you want to be you want them to not be moving, and you don't want to be moving either. Notice here he's getting like 0 shots on me, and thankfully we finish him off. So that overall, I've been doing like a bunch of damage. We get to finish the T-34 off, and we're gonna move on to this big fat juicy heavy, the T1 heavy. who is not angling at all. And yes! 780 damage right there from an ammo rack. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Yes. Oh goodness. The perks of having an autoloader. You just get more chances of lighting stuff on fire and ammo racking stuff. So amazing game on Middleburg. That was the last one. Another ace tanker, of course. 1,921 damage. GG in the Luchs. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed those beautiful ace tanker games. I certainly did. The Luchs is an amazing tank. I strongly recommend playing the Luchs if you're a strategist. You're not like a good brawler, but you know where to be, you know where to help your team. The Luchs is for you. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this this episode of farming ace tankers in the Luchs. Ridiculous title, I know, but you know, it is what it is. And give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and catch you guys next time. Push!